Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to day 4 of Unlimited and Upgrade in Consciousness. With me, Vic or Vikash of Dasani, your favorite spiritual awakening coach. And today, I want to get into, I keep talking about Dr. Joe Dispenza and my experience with his work. And, from the course of from June 2018 to December 2019, I went to 6 of his workshops. And his workshops are like week-long retreats where you are at a hotel ballroom with anywhere from 800 to 1500 people depending on the actual workshop, meditating for a week, for all day. Dr. Joe lectures on mystical experiences and creating your reality and how the brain works and how to tune into emotions and how tuning into emotions create a reality. And there's just so many things on a scientific level that Dr. Joe explains. And so I went to these 6 workshops, and I'll tell you, after my first workshop, I had my first like ridiculous mystical experience. I literally was in the meditation and I went somewhere else. I was perceiving a future reality. Dr. Joe calls this a sensory experience without your senses. And in this moment, I literally experienced my entire family, include like my cousins, my aunts, my uncles, my grandparents, everybody was in this vision, and they were all crying like crazy, like, bawling. And it was so intense. I felt in this vision that they were like, it was from my perspective, and they were crying because they were reacting to me being healed. And it was an incredible experience. And when I got out of that, somebody that I had met at the workshop literally came to me and told me that she had the same vision. She was bawling, and she was like, "Oh my God, it was amazing!" Like, she was explaining it to me, and I was like, "Holy crap! Like, how does that even happen?" And as I went to more workshops, like, more people that I came into contact with, like, started having visions of me and messages for me, and dreams of me, and like walking. And like, even when I was home for a long period of time, I would wake up at like 4 in the morning and meditate for like 3 hours a day. And I would do that every morning, and it was adding more mystical experiences, more synchronicities, more visions, more. And even and like, there was like a couple of days where like I actually felt like I was on psychedelics when I hadn't taken anything. And it was just like me in this like really elevated state. And it was amazing. And from June 2018 to December 2019, I did these workshops, and I kept elevating, I kept moving, and my life became more and more mystical. And I kept like meeting the right people. And in October last year, I decided to become a coach, because I felt like I've had so many experiences and that I can help people who are on this journey. And so, and I had a client last year in November in 2019. And I do these meditations with my clients where we really kind of guide into what we're trying to create, the kind of person you want to be. Depending on the situation, depending on the session, is the meditation that I do. And in this one meditation, I'm guiding this person to perceive a future reality. And we finished, and he's crying. And I was like, "What happened?" And he said, I saw you on stage in my meditation." And I was like, "What?" I was like, and just immediately I was like, was I walking?" And he started crying even more, and he was like, "Yes, yes." And I was like, "Oh my God," like, literally, I'm like giving this dude a meditation, he's seeing a vision about me. And I can tell you, like, in the last year, probably every month or 2 months maybe, there's always somebody that reaches out to me that's had a vision, that's seen me in a dream, or like something like that, uh, about me walking again. And so it was seeing all this. I'm not walking again, like, yet, right? Or maybe I won't. I don't know. But I've had all of these experiences, up till now. That has been the motivating factor for my spiritual journey. And I've really come into a place where, like, it doesn't matter if I do walk or walking again. I mean, it would be amazing, and obviously this isn't like a medical possibility or whatever. This would be some sort of miracle or something along those lines, for sure. But like, because of this journey that I've been on, I believe in miracles. I believe in possibilities. I've seen so many things. And so, this is the journey I'm on. And being on this journey is really about like elevating consciousness. And I like to call myself a consciousness junkie because like I just can't get enough of it. Like I just, as much as I can elevate, as much as I can upgrade myself, like I just want to keep doing it because life, the way I perceive life, just gets better and better and better. And today, my speaker, or my guest, Sarah R. Adams, like I feel so lucky that to have her on this program. She's on Gaia TV and Vice TV, and she's this incredible healer. She perceives things on a whole other level. She sees things on a whole other level. You guys are about to see some. You're just about to hear her, and it's gonna be a little bit out there, but she's amazing, and I love hearing this stuff. So I hope you do too. So check it out, guys. Sarah R. Adams. All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Unlimited and Upgrade in Consciousness. This is where we're learning how to overcome your reality and thrive in your life, health, and relationships. And today, I got Sarah R. Adams, who is an intuitive healer who helps heighten people's body's frequency to help heal body pains, energy blockages. She clears auric fields and karmic past life blockages. So that's some interesting information we're going to get into. She's made TV appearances on Gaia TV, including Beyond Belief and Buzzsaw, as well as Vice TV, The Basis Project, co-hosting the Divine Truth Show on Revolution Radio, and so much more. Sarah, thank you so much for being on this call with me. Why don't you just introduce yourself and let us know a little bit, what does an intuitive healer do? What does that mean?
Thank you for having me on, by the way. So what I do is scan the body's energetic system, and I find where there's blockages, and I find whether it's emotional, whether it's this life or past lives. I see the entire energetic system as billions of cords of light, and with the blockages, there's cords of light that are more dense. They've lost their light. So I go in and I bring that new light, that ancient light, into those cords, almost just like how can I put it, like guitar strings. That's how I see and each string, the light passes through, and if there's the blockages, it keeps the light from passing through. So that's kind of how I work, and I can feel the different frequencies of the entire system because the organs speak to me, the cells speak to me. Wow. The person's spirit speaks to me, tells me where the blockages are. So I go in and I clear those so that there's a clear channel. And when there's disease, sickness, depression, sadness, even life issues where you're just manifesting a life that has all sorts of problems in it, is because there are these blockages. So by bringing in the light, it helps everything to flow better and heal and be in a symphony.
Beautiful. I've heard the word coherence. Do you resonate with that word when it comes to balancing?
Yes, I do. So I like using the word symphony. So, if you go to a cathedral in Europe, and our body, our physical body, is the temple soul. It's the, in the Bible, Jesus says that the temple is the body. It's the body it's the temple of God. So our soul is God energy. It's the divine within us. So when you go to Europe and you go to a cathedral, there's an organ in it. And if one of the keys of the organ is off, that creates an awful symphony. We have organs in our body, and if the frequencies of our organs are off, because they do hold emotions, they do hold any traumatic experience that we've ever had, they hold things from past lives. If one of the energies of the organs is off, that puts the whole symphony of our frequency off, just like the organ in a cathedral, in a church, puts the whole, if one of the keys off, it puts the whole thing off. So by clearing out the organs, what we can do is then we project a reality that's healthy and happy and vibrant and reality that flows in coherence, and also in the perfect kind of just flowing, beautiful, divine symphony.
Oh, I love that. I love that analogy. Um, and what I want to hear more from you when we talk about the energy body, right? We talk about the energy centers, the chakras, and things like that. Could you give us a better sense of what that looks like? What do the energy centers do? What does that body mean?
So a physical reality, by the way, in this physical body is condensed energy. When energy is condensed, it creates matter. And so we are, even this body is condensed energy itself. Um, the way I see the system is, one, I don't the usual chakra system that they have, because the way it goes quite high up, and I also see pastel in color, so I don't use vivid colors when I work with the chakra system. The chakra system likes pastel colors, so does the aura, which I've noticed, and it soothes it, and it downloads it better when I'm working with the system. Also, with the emotional, there is what I call the emotional body, and we have, okay, in our charge of energy, when we come into the physical body and we incarnate, we can have emotions from past lifetimes, because it's in a charge of energy. An emotion, motion is a motion of energy. That's
Mhm.
how I see it. So it's energy. So an emotion is just a motion, a flow of energy. And it's all the knowledge we have from past lives comes from emotions. Literally, it stays in there because that charge of emotion is so intense that it allows us to go back. When you have an intense emotion, even if it's just if it's something like intense love, you're going to remember that from a past lifetime, because it's such an intense charge. So emotions are useful too, to what I call travel in and out of time. So I go to past lifetimes and I can find different things there via the emotional charge. Does that make sense? Connecting to the emotional charge that I carry still within my energy field that's connected to those lifetimes. So emotions, I use them different ways. And yes, we can get emotions that are blocked from past lifetimes where we need to clear those. But also, for me, emotions are, there's not a separation between our chakra system, our aura, and our emotions. It's all energy, it's all the same. And it's just, when I see it, it's almost like when I see my energy field or other people's energy field, it's billions of, like I said, those cords. And then I also see it almost like billions of small little orbs of light, of energy. So that has the charge of emotion, that has the charge of everything that creates who you are from all those past lives, and it creates who you are. So emotions are very much the epitome of who we are, in a way. They're all of our experiences, they're all of our travels, they're all of our past lifetimes. And for me, they are amazing because they're teachers. So if we get angry at somebody, it's because there's something that's been done wrong to us. And anger is not a negative emotion. We just need to understand it, know how to process it, and see what it's trying to tell us.
Mhm.
But emotions, for me, when I had this whole past life experience, I went all the way back 2 billion years, and that sounds insane, but it's because I had such intense emotions on these different timelines in these different incarnations, and I could go and travel through them and feel them and experience them, just like I'm sitting here talking to you via the emotions. So I was given a message, and they said, when you deeply care about somebody or love somebody in this lifetime, or you have an intense experience with a lot of emotions, that actually passes over into other lifetimes.
Mhm.
And us to remember, that helps us to also anchor in. That's what they were telling me, into 3D experiences. So they were telling me that the emotions are so important because of this, because they also help create the epitome of our being. They're that important.
Wow, that's that's amazing. Um, and amazing that you've, been able to experience such a level of detail for your own past lives, related to the emotions. And so, what should we know about our past lives? Like, there's a lot of people that are on this call or that are watching this video that maybe have an idea of past lives, have an idea that that we're paying off some level of karma, and so what 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 should be aware of in knowing that? Can you provide a little bit more insight on how our past lives play a part in our life, and how we can use it to better ourselves?
Oh, so I was able to go and download abilities that I had in past lives or information in past lives that have helped me in this lifetime. And another thing, if you know, since a young child, you've had intense feelings, intense emotional charges, or you get triggered by certain things, that often comes from past lives.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the system's trying to tell you to delve deeper into that. So it's important to listen to this and to delve deeper in, because that emotional charge is telling you there's something important here. You wanted to remember in this lifetime, so that's why there's this intense charge. Go and explore this, because there is something there for you to receive in this lifetime. There's something there for you to remember or acknowledge in this lifetime. We leave emotional charges in other lifetimes. They cross the barrier when we come into new bodies, and we can pick up that energy and information and transfer it into our physical selves now. Whether it's abilities, whether it's about people we love, whether it's experiences that we just want to remember because we loved them and they were divine to us. So there's a lot of reasons why we should explore when we have an intense emotional charge or triggered in this lifetime by certain things, because that often, like I said, comes from past lifetimes. On another note, with past lifetimes, we can also, I feel there's a lot of answers by going back in the past to see some of the cataclysms that happened, to see how we can use that information to keep our planet from having the same issues. I lived on Mars, and I have all of these memories of Mars, and a lot of those memories of Mars that happened, they're very much right now reflecting everything that's going on on this planet. And I can see, what the elite are doing and what needs to change, and how we need to embrace the soul more, and we need to embrace our inner divine more and channel that energy to heal this planet, so that we don't come to the same end as other planets that I have lived on. So
Mm-hmm.
these are information that I believe a lot of people have within themselves. They have this information that where they lived on other planets and the cataclysms and what went wrong, and they can go and download that information and use it to shift this planet so that we do not have the same issues that we had on other planets. So that's another thing that's coming through. And a lot of I speak with angels and different beings, and this is some of the messages that they've been bringing to me recently, is to tell people, tap into themselves, tap into their past. And a lot of people have had lives on other planets, and they need to tap into that information and use that information for the timeline that we're living on now. So that's one of the big messages recently that's been coming through for the last 7-8 months, that we need to go back. And there's a lot of knowledge there that will help us now in our modern day lives. Even there's knowledge about healing, there's knowledge about our DNA, there's knowledge about, they had technology. We had achieved technology back then where we could live hundreds of years, and there's a lot of myths and tales about that, but that was actually legitimately true. So we have all this knowledge that's within those, that our energy field, within those emotional charges, that's trying to come through to go ahead and give us these messages. So that's something that is quite intense for me right now.
Wow, it's kind of mind blowing to even know that we existed on different planets and have been on in all these other lives. And some of the work that I do with people is I do help people, guide people into going into those triggers and going into those emotions and allowing yourself to feel it and being introspective and asking where it's coming from and why. And I haven't gone as far as going, past this lifetime, but a lot of things root in their childhood or in their own past experiences. And every time we can encounter some of these trapped emotions or these things that are being triggered and create meaning out of it and actually get into a place of actually finally feeling it, because it seems like a lot of the issues is people haven't expressed their emotions fully, and then once that happens, there's a freedom, there's this space that's created, there's this energy that's lifted, and now the person has an epiphany or can think clearly or has more direction. Can you speak a little bit about that process on the clarity that we get when we do this kind of work?
You know, a long time ago, I had this download of whenever conception happens, we come into these bodies, right? And these bodies are full of the um, all of the trauma from our ancestors. They're full of the wars, all the suppression. So the soul, which is God energy, God source itself, the divine, when it comes to come into the physical body, what happens is it's pure love, and it comes to come into this physical vehicle, but that's already full of all this trauma and stuff, and it doesn't want to fully go in because it's not a nice place to live in. So at the point of conception, the soul only goes in 20% to 30%,
Oh,
and
wow.
it in. So a lot of people are walking around the planet with only 20 to 30% of themselves in. So we have to go in and we have to listen, we have to clear out, delete everything, because our organs, our cells, everything holds all this, what I call gunk from the past in it. So we have to clear that out. So then the soul will come in happily, because the soul, when the body is a happy place, the soul merges fully into it. So the soul then fully merges into it. This is some of the work I do. So I clear those triggers. I find out why there's triggers. I find out why there's a lot of, sometimes people just come into the body and it's not even they're coming into these bodies that's already full of stuff. It's not even their stuff. They just need to clear out the stuff from, the body that they're coming to live in. So I get them to kind of merge into the physical body. We clear everything, then they're able to come into the body. When they come in, they're like, they wake up, they're like, oh my goodness, I realize that I'm God having this physical human experience. I realize I have these different abilities. I realize that I've been almost asleep for years. So this is a beautiful thing, because they awaken to themselves, and then they can go back and they can explore deeper. And once you clear out everything and everything's flown in a symphony, you just know, you have this knowing that I can't explain in words. It's like a omnipresent, omnipotent, eternal knowing that, oh, I'm going to have this life for 100 years, maybe 60 to 100 years, whatever is the plan. And I'm going to have a physical experience, and I'm eternal and immortal and beautiful and divine. And I've had many past lifetimes, and I'll have many future lifetimes. And this isn't the end. And this is never the end. This is just an experience, like putting on this sweater. We're putting on these bodies. So then the person has no fear after, and they go off and live a happy life, having that knowing that they are, they're eternal, and nothing, no matter what their trauma there is on this planet, or craziness or chaos, it's going to be okay in that.
Yeah. Oh my God. I love what you just said. And what you just spoke of, you speak about something called God consciousness, and is it in this space of living and knowing that you're connected to all that is, and you're a divine being yourself, you're God yourself, and living from that place. Uh, is that what we would call God consciousness?
It is, and this is the ultimate plan for humanity, is to join the spiritual with the physical, the 3D world, so that they remember that they are not only these 3D bodies, but they're spirits, they're God themselves, and coming in and having a physical experience. And these planets and these worlds were created to have experience, because otherwise it get quite boring if you just stay.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a bit of a playground. So, and once you merge fully into your body, you no longer see this system as a matrix or anything like that. You see it as, oh, hey, I just forgot my power, and I have the power to shift everything and to change everything into something positive. And that there's basically that you're infinite and invincible and you're eternal. So there's no real big problems. And that's for me, that's a big message right now on this planet, is for people to start stepping into God consciousness and understanding they are very powerful. And they have these, once you step into God consciousness, well, God has the ability, you know, it's very well known in different religious books, which holds some truth, that we can tell the skies to cleanse themselves. We can tell the oceans to cleanse themselves of pollution, and they will do so because they will listen to us, because we are in God consciousness. And that's what's needed on this planet right now. That's the awakening that's going to happen more and more as people start clearing out these 3D physical vehicles of all the residue of all the wars and all the trauma, and stepping into the body and becoming one with their soul and channeling their God consciousness, their divine power, to heal the planet and heal each other and heal themselves. And this is for me the biggest message I feel this year and the next few years. This is going to be the shift, the golden age that is coming. It's people remembering and understanding how the soul works and how they can use that to shift their planet and their timelines into positive timelines and into a beautiful, healed, flourishing planet.
I'm so excited to be a part of this time and this age, and to hear that, you know, there's so much crazy chaos going on right now, but to know that we're really moving into a new age is exciting. And, you know, one thing, when you talk about God consciousness, I've been a heavy meditator for the last 3 or 4 years. And when you say God consciousness and feeling connected and living from that place, I definitely have had experiences where I totally just in meditation, where I totally just lose my awareness of my 3D reality, and I'm connected to something, you know, way bigger. And I've definitely experienced that in my day-to-day life, even not all the time. I definitely think it's a practice that we need to continue to embody, and so I want to know how do you feel about meditation or other modalities that people can engage in so that they can move towards the direction of this God consciousness? What advice would you have in that regards?
So, and there's a couple of ways, and I'm going to explain that. And I know that we did the conference in Shasta together, so I'm probably just, you know, repeating some of that. But, and I'm sorry, because you're asking me questions and then they're just, you know, they're just telling me, oh, say this. So I'm kind of just
Oh, you're totally fine.
Yeah. So a meditation is amazing, but before, like I said, the body needs to be cleansed and cleared out, because you can meditate for hours, but until you cleanse and clear it, that's not going to hold the charge. Meditation for me charges the cells more. But if the cell is a solar panel, first of all. This is why the Egyptians were the ancient Egyptians were sun worshipers, because they would go, and the sun being the cell, each cell in your body being like a solar panel, would absorb the light and pass it through the cell and transfer it and charge your auric field, your chakra system, and your energy field. So it would charge you. Nobody's being charged right now because of a lot of different things. So basically, we have to cleanse and clear out the cells. So we have things like chemtrails, and we have things like a lot of toxins in beauty products. We have toxins in fast foods. We're being bombarded with toxins, specifically with something that I call heavy metals, like aluminum, different heavy metals. These get into the cell and they reflect out the light from entering the cell, so we cannot charge. When we cannot charge our chakra system and auric field, our frequency goes down, and then we are connected into lower consciousness. So it's important to do heavy metal detox and clear your cells, so then your cell can hold a charge, like a battery cell hold the charge. So when you do meditate, it's going to stay up here rather than when it's toxic, it's so low frequency, you're going to bring it up briefly, then it's going to have a drop again. So you want to maintain up here. You can only maintain up here once you clear out the heavy metals and the toxins out of your cells. Once you do, they're going to be fully charged batteries and be frequency up here completely. I don't even have to meditate. I walk around and I'm in perpetual meditation. I can be driving my car, jogging, working out, and I'm in this state of high meditation with all of these messages coming through and just being in God consciousness. And that's really what you want to achieve in the end, because this is the ultimate state. So yes, I do spend time where I'll just go and sit down for 2 hours and meditate, but I am in a perpetual state of meditation and constant God consciousness, because I have worked on cleansing and clearing my cells so that they can hold a charge. And since there's all this charge flowing through the body, I'm perpetually in higher frequencies. So that's the basis. I believe detoxing the body, and specifically the cells of heavy metals, is the basis of everything. And then after that, we can bring in meditation and other things, and our physical bodies will be able to maintain the charge and maintain the information and maintain all of that. But beforehand, I don't believe that meditation will be the only way to get you into higher frequencies. Briefly, yes, you'll go up when you meditate for a while, you'll go up, but you're going to have that slump until your cells are able to hold the energy because they're cleansed and cleared.
Okay, amazing. I really love that explanation. It actually tells me a lot when it comes to why I may be fluctuating here and there. So very cool to hear that. I know you probably have, like, you know, your specific modalities in clearing and doing the detoxes and clearing the heavy metals. Do you have any just kind of general maybe advice on, like, point people in the right direction, and where should they go, or where should they learn information on how they can detox these metals?
So this is actually quite hard. I studied this stuff for years because I had it happen to me. So this all comes from personal experience, by the way. Is the best, right? Because
Yeah.
I feel like I experienced it so I could then get this information out there and to the public. This is something I knew that I had experienced this to get be able to bring the information out there. So EDTA chelation is amazing. You can go get it via clinics. I think some states you have to have a doctor's note. And what they do is they go ahead and they do a nurse comes and she puts in, you know, the IV, and you chelate like that. I have found out that doing it a different way, which would take too long to explain, is also amazing. It's actually my preferred way that I get my clients to do it. And it's actually a very unique way. So it works the best for me because I did do EDTA chelation, and that works to a certain amount, but it doesn't go where it needs to go. So I will be offering some of the information on my website soon. And of course, I guide my clients how to detox from heavy metals. I will be offering that information on my website soon too. But for now, I think first steps is to start doing like bentonite, liquid bentonite clay. You can start to drink a tablespoon of that in water in the morning and have that. And at night also in a cup of water, you just a tablespoon, mix it, and that will start to already get out the metals and toxins out of your body. And of course you want to drink a lot of water when you're doing that because it's dehydrating, but it works pretty well as some of the beginner steps.
So cool. Thank you so much for that information. And now, when we clear ourselves and we're you know, living more in a level of God conscious, something I've experienced is I've experienced a lot of these synchronicities, signs, breadcrumbs that kind of lead you to different places, and I find them amazing, and it always makes me feel like I'm in the right place at the right time. And I feel like a lot of people, especially that maybe might be in lower consciousness in this time of fear, you lose sight of these signs and these things that you're being nudged to. And can you speak a bit about the process of you know, being guided by these synchronicities, you know, when you're available to perceive them?
So the more that your body's cleansed and cleared out of toxins, the more energy, God, conscious, divine energy flows through it, which you flow. So you have all these synchronicities that are guiding you and also telling you you're on the right path. So there's just this flow, this symphony that happens. Like I said, you're just in that all-knowing state. Um, fear is a great teacher. I don't see fear as anything that is negative. Fear pushes us. If we're in fear, it's because it's trying to push us to grow more. It's trying to push us to access that God consciousness where there's no fear. Fear is there to put the pressure on us to step it up.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, a lot of the world's in fear, but that fear is to push them to look beyond their 3D lives, because people are so deeply in their 3D lives. They have not looked into the land of the spirits, into the spiritual realms, into their souls. So that fear is pressuring them like a diamond. Like a diamond is made under pressure so that they can step it up and that they can look further and they can find out what needs to be done, what they can find their souls, they can find the truth about themselves rather than just living in the 3D physical world. And that's why we have so much fear in the world right now. So it's a great teacher, and I'm very blessed and thankful for fear, because I would not be sitting here happy and just vibrating at such a high state if I hadn't had fear in my life, because that fear pushed me to say, you know what, I don't want to stay in a state of fear. I don't want to stay in this state. What is fear trying to teach me? It's trying to push me somewhere else, trying to push me to achieve a state of higher consciousness, and it was able to do so. And so right now, the fear is like a plant medicine. When you do plant medicine, it brings up all of that stuff you have to face before you can get to the other side and achieve that state of peace and healing. And that's what's happening with fear right now. So I'm thankful for fear. It's an amazing teacher.
Oh, I totally resonate on so many levels, because as you know, I had an accident 14 years ago that left me as a paraplegic up until now. And this experience for me has caused me to, I mean, obviously there's so many fears that come with that. Yeah. Um, and I had to learn to be independent. And there were just so many things that I didn't think I was able to do. And the more and more I went through those fears and saw I was capable, I just have developed this healthy relationship with fear, so that now, anything, like, I'm not phased so much. I see fear the same way you do. It pops up and I'm like, okay, what is this here to teach me? And just yesterday I saw a video where somebody said, fear is the impulse of the universe for evolution. The universe is always evolving, and fear is actually the impulse that is causing us to evolve, right?
Yeah.
Do you resonate with that?
I do resonate with it. I see fear as like I said, an amazing teacher, and I'm very blessed to have had it grace my life. And I feel like it's misunderstood, and we're going to learn in the future that fear, all these different emotions that we considered, something that weren't great, they're actually amazing teachers.
Mm-hmm.
As a child, I had a very abusive childhood. My mom was a very lost soul, and I knew I incarnated to experience that, so I could come through it. And I was able to realize, and that is funny because all of the things in my childhood, just that, like, you experienced all the things you experienced, it made you look deeper. All the things in my childhood made me look deeper and push deeper and try to find my soul more, and just try to look beyond the 3D physical world, because I was like, even as a little girl, when I came into my little girl body, I was very aware that there was something wrong with this planet and that things needed to shift. And I was observing, the way people act to each other, the way people act to their children, the way that people treat each other. And I knew that I had to, because I'm an ancient soul, and children are very precious to me, and I have so much heart for them and love for them. So I knew I needed to incarnate into the body of a child so I could understand what was going on with the children on this planet, and understand what they're facing, and understand that they're growing up the way they are into being abusers, into being broken because of what was happening to them as children, and how me going through those experiences helped me to learn what needs to change on this planet, so I can then now in my adult life give that information to the public and say, okay, this needs to change and this needs to change, and we need to create a more positive environment for children, and that's going to create adults that grow up to be happy and whole, not broken adults who grow up oftentimes to be into abusers, or grow up oftentimes shattered and with a million different issues in life.
Mm.
So I realized that, having a very abusive childhood was a gift, because it
Mm.
gave me a lot of knowledge. So I don't see it as anything negative. I see it as just, hey, I've had amazing, beautiful lives. So learning, I knew I wanted to help the children on this planet. So incarnating into the body and being abused as a child was something that was, for me, an experience of growth, because my soul's way stronger than anything that could happen to me on this 3D physical earth. And it's just, I needed those 3D physical experiences so I could then learn how to transmute all that, how to find positive solutions and bring them to humanity.
Mm. You're speaking so much truth right there. And I resonate. I love that you said that the pain or the childhood trauma that you went through was actually a gift. And the thought process that I've adopted probably in the last year or so, and I mean, I've played with this, but I've noticed that as I've said this to myself, I'm I'm really getting into a place of totally accepting it right now, but really seeing my situation, my accident, me being in a wheelchair, as the best thing that ever happened to me, because it's taught me so much. It's led me to the person who I am. I've been able to transmute things, and now I'm coaching other people in their own spiritual awakening. So it's been, it did not happen in vain. It's been so purposeful, and I can totally see it as a gift as well.
Exactly. Imagine if you could walk around and you wouldn't look deeper. It's all, I think a lot of people who've been through trauma, they're starting to look deeper. The trauma is actually a positive thing, because it's pushing the awakening. People are looking deeper. They're looking beyond this 3D physical self, and that's really helping with awakening a planet. By the way, my aunt she's in a wheelchair, she's handicapped, and she is one of the most spiritually awakened, amazing people that I know. So, and she, the same thing, because she was in a wheelchair, it pressured her to look beyond, and it helped refine her too. She was able to see everything in a different view, which she's like I said, one of the most amazing people that I know.
I love that. When we live from this place and we're clearing ourselves, and um, I want to kind of highlight the benefits of really getting on this journey, the benefits of how it affects your health, the benefits of how it affects your relationships and your life in general, right? Um, you know, what can you say about those things by clearing ourselves, the effect that it has on our lives?
We're allowed to connect deeper to others when we clear ourselves. We're also a lot, I feel like that you're either connecting from a place of trauma from this lifetime or past lifetime negative experiences, which is, you truly cannot connect when you don't clear those things. When you do the work to clear all of those things out, you then truly can connect to others. Until then, you're not really connected to them. You're just coming from a place of trauma and hurt, which is a lot of blockages. And these blockages get caught up in our auric field and our chakra system, and they block us from having true heart flow. And I think that this is one of the biggest problems on our planet, is people have a lot of trauma, and that trauma is blocking them from connecting to each other. So they're not being able to truly be empathic and care about others, because they can't connect to them. So we need to clear all that out so that we can truly connect. And then once you clear all that out, you're happy every day, and you're like, you're happy, you're giggly, you're like the eternal child. And you wake up and simple things are just sitting there and watching the sunrise. the most majestic, beautiful, divine thing that you've ever seen. But if you're like, you have all that trauma still, you're going to sit there and think, oh, this world's a prison. I hate this world. This is terrible. I'm a prisoner in my body. I feel terrible. So it really, by doing that work, changes you to a very positive life with a positive outlook. And you just, you know, when you do the work too, you're not going to think about something that happened. I never think about my childhood. I never think about that trauma. I don't live in it. It's gone. It's cleared. So I don't have that weight on me. And sadly, a lot of people on this planet have the weight of the trauma that they've been through because they're not clearing it and cleansing it out of their systems. And which, when you cleanse it out of your energy field, it also cleanses out of your thoughts. So then you don't even think about it anymore. And that's the way to heal on this planet, is to completely clear that. And then they're not going to go back to all the trauma they had as children, or in bad relationships, or the abuse that they've had. And then they're going to start coming from their heart, and they're going to truly connect more. And they will become empathic towards each other and care about each other. And they will not want to exploit or harm or hurt each other anymore. The reason people exploit, harm, and hurt each other is because they're doing it to themselves. It's a reflection that they have within. So once we clear all that, coming from a happy place, and they're going to make others happy, and they're going to spread that happiness, and they're going to spread that light, and spread that beauty, and spread that heart.
And what is that going to do to their cells? What is that going to do to their health?
It regenerates you, it rejuvenates you, it heals you. It's like I said, I get in these states where I just sit down, I'm in heaven itself. You know, I can see to the spirit realm, and it's beautiful. It's like, I can't explain the experience. One of the most beautiful things that, and the love, you know, because when you clear that out, God is love, the divine is love. So you have that energy flowing through your cells. So you always just feel loved. Even if you're alone, or even if you don't have anyone, you're going to feel that perpetual state of love, that you're entirely loved and everything's okay. So it really shifts your cells on a level of vibrating at the frequency of the divine, which is love.
Oh my God. Thank you so much for that. That lights me up in so many ways. And I'm so grateful for this conversation. For everybody watching, I've actually done one healing session with her already, and it was amazing. I really felt all sorts of energies coming into my space, and there was so much love and so much healing that I felt, and warmth that I felt in my body. And so I totally encourage anybody who's watching this, if you're interested in getting a healing session with Sarah, definitely check her out. And she's got a TV show. She's on YouTube. She's all over social media. So Sarah, if you want to speak a little bit about your healing sessions, your website, and where they can find you, the floor is yours.
Thank you. So I teach multidimensionality because a long time ago, before we had all this cataclysms, or you hear about the fallen man, we were one with our souls. So we could go in other realms. We were in God consciousness. We could heal ourselves, heal each other. We were creators. So what I'm doing now, my work is, I'm helping people to ascend back into God consciousness. So I do all the work to cleanse and clear the body. We clear out the heavy metals, and then I get them to merge into their physical body more. So we do a series of different exercises to do that. And, you know, eventually they become multidimensional. So, and I teach them how to balance their 3D life with their spiritual life, which is amazing, because I feel that that's a big key point right now, is balancing the both. And then I teach them how they can channel energy to heal the planet, you know, to heal the skies that are full of pollution. So these are some of the things that I've been teaching people, and I've had a quite huge success with it, and I love doing it, and people see results. So I'm amping up my work on that more. So I'm going to be doing a video blog. And yes, you can go and find me at www.sararadams.com, and you can book a session with me there if you want to work with me. I have also just filmed Ancient Civilizations on Gaia, where I'm talking about supernatural stuff, because I have all sorts of supernatural experiences. So this is coming out soon, and I'm excited about that. And I'm most excited I'm extremely excited. Oops. Sorry about that. I'm extremely excited about the future because I'm excited about people waking up to the soul and the power of the soul within them. And I want to finish by saying, you know, we have this country, America. We have this Statue of Liberty that sits, you know, in the harbor, and she holds the light above her. And the Statue of Liberty she represents the great goddess Isis in Egypt. And she's saying, look to the light of the soul. True liberty comes when we put the soul above all and we remember the soul. And that's the light she's holding, is the soul. So I feel that there's a lot of prophecies that around the world, and maybe many of them watered down, but in the end, they all say the same thing. We're going to find the real true divine. We're going to find the soul, and we're going to ascend into that, and that's going to shift our planet.
Oh my God, so beautiful. Thank you so much, Sarah, for being on this call with me and blessing all these people with this information. Again, you can find her at sararadams.com. I totally recommend getting a healing session with her. I'm going to get more, definitely. And check out your new show on Gaia. You said it's called Ancient Civilizations, right?
Yes, it's going to be coming out. They haven't launched it yet, but it's going to be coming out in the near future.
All right, everybody, you got to follow this lady. She's doing huge things. Thank you so much, Sarah. And
hey everybody, Shawn Elliot again. This next song, One Nation, I think it speaks for itself, you know, one nation. We're one. One nation, one race, one world, one life. And it was created at a time of me feeling very divided even within myself, and just looking around and going, wow, everybody's just at each other right now, which I think still kind of applies, regretfully. So the lyrics of One Nation just kind of speak to that, and I hope it gives you a sense of feeling unity, of feeling connected to everybody else, even those that think differently, act differently than us, those that we would soon want to judge, because that's natural, I think, but trying to brush that aside for a moment and saying, I don't like what you're saying or doing, but we're still one, and that's okay. I hope you enjoy it.
I've been working on a different way. I'm looking at the people I see every day. I'm saying all the things that I want to say before the moment is gone and then I fade away. And what I found is we're all the same. The same life with a different name. The same blood in a different vein. But yet I'm doing you wrong, oh what a shame. Cause I feel the pain the same way that you do. I love my people the same way that you do. But we spend a lot of our time looking to argue and fight. So when I look in your eyes, I'm looking through you. But maybe we could try to make a change. Settle down the wars and our old rage. In the story of life, we'll write a new page. One race, one love for the new age. So let the music move every station, and we can come together in celebration. Raise each other up, soul elevation. One race, one love, one nation. So let the music move every station, and we can come together in celebration. Raise each other up, soul elevation. One race, one love, one nation. Every day I see a post about a war in the world where innocent are ghosts. People looking at each other as a main threat, thinking every way they're different, evil as they get. But what they don't see is below the surface, below the skin tone that they see is worthless. Inside the bones where everyone's a clone, where love is what is driving them to protect home. But we can be safe if we just erase judgments we have to fuel all the hate, cause they all are learned to burn along the way. And we can escape the prison that they make. The color of a face, the width of a waist, the person we marry, our practice of faith. These don't divide, they unite the race. And it was given rise to a new generation. So let the music move every station, and we can come together in celebration. Raise each other up, soul elevation. One race, one love, one nation. So let the music move every station, and we can come together in celebration. Raise each other up, soul elevation. One race, one love, one nation. So let the music move every station, and we can come together in celebration. Raise each other up, soul elevation. One race, one love, one nation. So let the music move every station, and we can come together in celebration. Raise each other up, soul elevation. One race, one love, one nation.
One and the same. Today, you have been a blessing to me, and for that, I am forever thankful. In the midst of all of the hurt, in the midst of all of the pain, we find strength to be together in harmony. I love you. I don't need anything from you. We are one. We are one.